And I guess the first thing that I want to start the show off with is one of the biggest headlines right now in international football is what we saw from Lamine Yamal, 16 years old, putting on that Spanish jersey and performing up to the level of the Brazilians, my friend. And at the same time, on the other side of the pitch, Endrick getting his first goal at the Santiago Bernabeu. Lamine Yamal going off to a standing ovation at the Santiago Bernabeu, and just both of these young, talented players displaying themselves on such a big stage, showcasing that the future of football is in really good hands, but more than anything, showcasing that they're like living the dream right now, man. Yeah. Like what we're seeing from both these guys is truly incredible, to the point that I just wanted to ask you this question. Whose career start would you rather have, Lamine Yamal's or Endrick's? Think about it, man. Endrick going to Real Madrid, playing in Brazil, winning titles with Palmeiras.
I'd take Bellingham's. I'm going to take I'd take Bellingham. I was starting the second division of England. Go over to Germany for a couple of years.
I asked the wrong person.
And then go to Real Madrid, you know? But, I mean, Yamal was born in royalty at Barcelona, right? And Endrick, Palmeiras product, which has probably the best academy in Brazil, and then he immediately himself books a ticket to Spain, to one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Which one would you rather have, Endrick or Lamine Yamal? I mean, they're honestly both pretty similar. Just Endrick coming from Brazil, you know, Palmeiras. Yeah. But I mean, what Lamine Yamal has done for Barcelona, honestly, I thought he was going to be kind of like a Ansu Fati type of character that would have really good minutes for Barcelona at such a young age, be more of an impactful player, but he's gone above that. Like, people thought Ansu Fati was going to be the next Messi, the next big product out of La Masia. But, I mean, you see Lamine Yamal play, and I think he's like the clear favorite to actually be one of the better footballers on the planet, and he's 16-year-old Barcelona product.
Yeah, I hope his health is kind to him.
Yeah.
Because that's what we saw really play against Ansu Fati, was his health. But I remember early in the season, we talked about Lamine Yamal as like a prospect. And
I think Yamal's fantastic, man. Excellent off the dribble, so eager to penetrate. I think Yamal's going to have a big learning curve this year and maybe even the next year to figure out himself and how to use his talents to be efficient. I think he's going to have some crazy highlights this season. Yeah. I think he's going to take players one-on-one, and he's going to get past them the majority of the time. But I think when it comes to that final ball or that final finish, I think he's going to be lacking. And that's not even a criticism. It's just he's so good, but he's so young, bro. I think all it's going to take is time for Yamal to be truly effective.
I think you pointed out, just like, you know, he's going to have his highlights, he's going to have his good moments this season, but maybe that final product won't be there in front of goal. I really do feel like he actually has superseded that expectation that we set for him here on this pod, because I just keep hearing about this guy every week. And when you watch Barcelona, his importance is actually very, very big to how the team works together. And he's actually carved himself out a role in that winger position for both Barcelona and the Spanish national team, man. Like, I just think it was such a big moment for both of these young players to have at such a big stage in the international game, to stand out like that amongst Spanish players and Brazilian players. I was really, thrown aback a little bit by that, and just seeing the highlights and how people reacted to it.
Yeah, I'll be so curious to see Endrick's career, though, because even at Palmeiras, while he did play a large part for them in winning the title, he got a lot of minutes in Serie A in Brazil this past season. He also was weirdly loosely used in the Copa Libertadores. So there's that kind of weird contention there as, how important was he really for Palmeiras? Now, he did score a lot of goals, but what's really interesting about that is he scored just a little bit more the amount of goals that Neymar did when he was like 17 or 18 years old back at Santos. So there's already some parallels there for Endrick, which I think are going to be really interesting to see. But the big difference, though, is that compared to Neymar, Endrick's immediately gone to Europe. Yeah. And that's where I really am curious to see next season specifically, how does Endrick get integrated into European club football? I'm really curious to see if he's going to be able to actually pull it off. Is he going to be more of like a Lamine Yamal that only comes off of the bench? Is he not going to have the same amount of impact? I have no idea, honestly, because he's so young. He just got here. We obviously know he's a huge talent, playing for Brazil, scoring against England as well in his debut. So it's been fantastic for Endrick, for Brazil national team this international window. But I think he's got a little bit more to go when you compare him to Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, for himself 100%. And then with the club he's going to, Real Madrid, it's Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinny Jr., potentially Mbappe.
Yeah.
how do you fit him into that offensive scheme, man? Like,
Yeah.
to be able to fully thrive, I do think he's going to play a role off the bench, man. Like, I think he's going to have to carve himself out a role in that sense because he is so young. He's so early on. I don't think he'll get the immediate start, but it's just such a loaded offensive squad for Real Madrid right now that the talent that they have is insane. Like, they're living a rich man's dream right now with the level of talent and quality that they are projected to have. But it's good that Yamal is also thriving at Barcelona because now I think it's shaping up for what could be a really good, kind of rivalry between the youngster, the wonder kid for Real Madrid, and the wonder kid from Barcelona. Lamine Yamal, already one of the best players for them. I just think it's incredible to see them perform this well in this stage.